Hello, this is Anthony McAlistar, the star of Long Pigs. Thank you for joining me here in this video web chat. I'd like you to know I originally wanted to do this live, but unfortunately the authorities didn't think that was such a good idea. Some of you might be wondering too, you might know originally I didn't really like this movie very much and didn't want anyone to see it. I thought it exploited me and the families of the victims, but especially since I've changed so much and I'm really not like that anymore. So I was really against its release. However, since it is being released and there's been so much interest in it, I thought it only fair to put myself out there and take some questions from people. I respect intellectual curiosity, and I expect these questions to be very interesting. So I'm excited by it. Let's start off with a question from, let's see, who do we have? Kara. And she asks, what's the name of the prison that I'm in? Okay, I should say this. I'm not really allowed to tell you anymore where I am. Although I am on really good terms with the people here, the warden especially. The truth is there's been some, fans of mine, if you want to call them that, who've been kind of showing up. You may have read a little thing recently about a couple of teenage girls who came by and had a little barbecue just outside the gates of the prison. They did test the meat they were cooking, and it was just veal. But, the authorities just didn't like the attention that was bringing. And so, unfortunately, I just can't tell you where I am anymore. Let's see. Well, here's an interesting one from Jay Winger. If you're going to eat a world-class athlete, who would you eat? Well, I should say, again, I've had a lot of therapy. I've got about like 15 doctors, and I'm on massive amounts of psychotropic drugs, and I don't feel that way anymore. I don't think about eating people anymore. I want to be perfectly clear about that. That being said, I really respect that question. I think it's a good question. Let's see. I guess there's a balance. Athletes are pretty muscle bound, and there's you have to be careful when you cook really sort of animals with a lot of muscle. It tends to be a bit gamey, and it can be really tough. I suppose I think of maybe like a swimmer, someone who's really, really fit. Maybe like a Michael Phelps, for instance, if I was going to do a long braise, like cook maybe a shoulder for a very long time. I've always been a baseball fan, but, I'd be kind of a little nervous about steroids, to be honest. As many of you know, I've gone organic in the last couple of years, and I really hate, the way farmers pump steroids into cows and pigs and everything these days. I'd be a little weary of pro baseball players, cyclists, weightlifters, people like that because of the steroid issue. All right. Let's see. Oh, who's my number one culinary influence? Well, that's from Katie. I guess I'd have to go with, the classic Julia Childs. I mean, she was an inspiration to, I think, anyone who cares about food. Certainly opened my eyes up. Granted, I'm sure she didn't really ever think that someone like myself would be using some of her recipes. But I'd like to think, wherever she is now, that I think she'd be impressed with some of the things that I was able to accomplish. So she was a big influence. Okay. Let's see. This one is from Alan. Oh, and it's from France. Let's see. Hey, Anthony. Do you prefer eat Lucy or Simon? When you invite me barbecue, I am French cooking nice taste. Well, that's interesting, Alan. Thanks for that question. Um, let's see. Well, again, I hate to sort of get into my past and all that because I've really grown. I'm beyond thinking about, the C word, as I like to call it now, cannibalism. Lucy or Simon, that's just such a long time ago. That being said, Lucy was very special to me, and I have very, how should I put this? Very positive memories of consuming her. I think I was very respectful towards her. Simon, let's face it, I can say it now, and that was more out of revenge. Let's face it. That wasn't really a culinary experience. So I guess I'd have to say Lucy. And what else did he say? When you invite me barbecue, I am French cooking nice taste. What can I tell you? I can't say where I am. I assume you're talking about cooking beef or pork, something like that. And if that's the case, just I don't know, maybe have a little picture of me. Download a picture of me from the website. Rent the movie. Have a barbecue in the movie, and it'll just seem like I'm there. Let's see, what do we have? This is from Peter Yogebrandt from Sweden. What does he say? Let's see. What's the most delicious part of the human to cook? All right, I was worried that I'd get too many questions like this. Really, I'm not alone here, of course, and I'm not really at liberty to speak as freely maybe as I'd like to. That being said, the loin is your best bet. I mean, it's the most tender, and it's very easy to butcher, and it can be very flavorful. You can use it in a lot of different recipes. I hope that helps you, Peter. And let's see, maybe I'll just take one more here. I don't have much time. Okay, who do you think would win in an Iron Chef competition between you and Hannibal Lecter? And that's an anonymous question. Well, that's a good one. I am allowed a certain amount of television time here in this facility, and I have seen the Iron Chef. I know Hannibal gets, as a fictional character, of course, he gets a lot more press, and he's glamour, and I'm real, and frankly, I think that I'm a bit more creative. I think he's more of a classics kind of guy. You might get something from the French classic cuisine that he might prepare. Whereas for myself, I like to do some new things, try some exotic ingredients. Again, this is all hypothetical. And I find Iron Chef, that competition, I think those judges reward a kind of creativity. And as some of you have seen the movie, you might have seen, I'm a pretty adventurous cook. So I'd have to give it to me. I think the Iron Chef judges would respond to whatever I made. Well, thank you very much for writing all of these great questions. I can't tell you how impressed I am that you've been so curious about me and my life. It's made getting through this terrible experience of knowing that the movie is out there, and for all these people to be making money off of this this sick history that I have. At least something good maybe is coming of it. And you know, I've got the cookbook, I've got the blog. Hopefully, we'll do more of these video chats. Keep sending in your questions. And hey, you know, even though I'm not making any money from this movie legally, I can't. You know, I've just come to the conclusion: why the hell not? It's out there, so I want people to see it. So go to Amazon, go to the web page, do what you can. I am paying attention to everything that's going on out there. Any recipes you want to send, I'd be very curious to do that, to see those. So thank you, and goodbye.